Horrible day. Live footage magma pool eruption under Yellowstone Park rocked land, million in danger. Seismic activity in the Sundhnúkar crater row remains relatively low. A few earthquakes have been recorded daily, most of them located between Stóra-Skógfell and Sýlingarfell. On some days in the past week, bad weather has affected the sensitivity of the seismic monitoring system, potentially obstructing the detection of the smallest earthquakes. Uplift and magma accumulation beneath Stóra-Skógfell continue. However, GPS measurements have shown indications that the rate of uplift may have slowed in recent days. It is too early to definitively conclude whether these changes indicate a slowdown in magma inflow, as similar variations have been observed across the GPS network far from Stóra-Skógfell. At this stage, external factors, such as space weather or changes in satellite orbits, cannot be ruled out as a possible cause. If the GPS measurements reflect genuine changes in deformation and a slowdown in uplift and magma accumulation, this will become clearer next week when new satellite images are available to conduct a comparison with the deformation measured by the GPS network. Graph comparing measurements from two GPS stations on the Reykjanes Peninsula, located in Stóra-Skógfell and Sýlingarfell. During the period marked by the orange box, changes in deformation are visible in both Stóra-Skógfell and Sýlingarfell, which is considered to be unusual. Many factors can cause small systematic shifts that are unrelated to ground deformation. Examples include issues with the reference system, satellite orbits, or solar activity. The Icelandic Meteorological Office's scientists continue to assess that it is unlikely sufficient pressure will build up to trigger an eruption in November. One factor supporting this conclusion is the low seismic activity measured in the area. If the rate of uplift in Stóra-Skógfell changes or if there is a significant increase in seismic activity, this assessment will be revised accordingly. The EMO has issued an updated hazard assessment, which remains unchanged from the previous one. This assessment is valid until November 26, barring any significant developments. Seismic activity along the Sundhnúkar crater row remains relatively low. Typically, a few earthquakes are recorded each day and are generally located between Stóra-Skógfell and Sýlingarfell. In recent days, however, weather conditions have decreased the sensitivity of the seismic monitoring system. Ground uplift and magma accumulation under Stóra-Skógfell continue at a similar rate to recent weeks. An estimation of the volume of magma that will likely be required to trigger a new intrusion or eruption has been calculated. The minimum volume required is estimated to be approximately 23 million cubic meters. If magma accumulation continues at a similar rate, this threshold could be reached by the end of November. According to the interpretation of the latest data, and based on experience from previous events, it is unlikely that sufficient pressure will have built up to trigger an eruption in November. If the rate of uplift in Stóra-Skógfell changes, this assessment will be adjusted accordingly.